My name is Moonpetrie. It is getting late. It is getting dark. It is the 7th of July, and I have not gotten anything done yet. So I am going to get started right away, and today's project is begin with the villain. So I'm going to be creating villains and their dastardly plots so that I can then create a hero to try to foil their dastardly plots. But starting with the villain, which I have not done before. I know it is strongly recommended by a lot of folks, especially when it comes to mysteries or thrillers. And I'm going to go practice twirling my evil mustache or something. It is the 7th. It's brutally hot outside. Beautiful bird song, so that's nice. I had a couple of challenging days when I got to do little or nothing during nap time. We have reached an extremely tragic point in my life when my middle two kids are probably not going to be napping much longer. And that is going to make things very challenging. That was rough. On the 7th, I was working on villains, and I came up with 4. I didn't get started until late at night, and 2 had to do with ideas I've already had, and 2 were totally new random villains, and they weren't all explored to the same degree, but trying to come up with their story, their plot, their background before coming up with a hero. And I did write 1061 words, but I felt like it hadn't been explored enough, that I wanted a longer list of villains, and each one I wish I could spend more time with, but it was like after 11 and I had to update the NaNo site and I was exhausted. So I did get 2 stars for that day. Then yesterday was the 8th, and I was working on heroes, and I was trying to create a flaw, a gift, a want, or what they think they need, an actual need for each of them, an arc of change for the character throughout personal development, and then a telling detail. I recently read a book called How to Write a Damn Good Thriller. I cannot remember the name of the author. It was for the book club on Writing Craft Books that is held on Laura Wright's channel. I will link some info about that. They tore that book to pieces, and it was flawed, and also not addressing the kind of thrillers that are more popular these days. This is a guy, I guess he wrote like Soviet spy thrillers back in the day, and so the book had some stuff that was not fantastically useful about it, but I found some things of value in it here and there. And one thing he talked about was trying to come up with not just a habit or mannerism of the character, but some way that leaves evidence that there's some major piece that shows something about the character through that. So trying to do that, but again, nap didn't go so well, and so it was late at night when I was trying to work on it, and I created heroes for 2 of those 4 villains that I had done the night before. Who's cute? Who's cute? Yeah. So it was 691 words, and it wasn't as much as I wanted it to be. And so today is the 9th. And another thing in that book was the idea of well-orchestrated characters. So characters who are very distinct from one another, both to differentiate, to keep a cast of characters clear in order to have differences that would provoke small conflict throughout. And so he called that well-orchestrated characters. That was my goal for today. And it is past 4:30 now. They did nap, but I felt like I hadn't done as much as I wanted to on the villains and their dastardly plots, and the heroes and their flaws, gifts, wants, needs, and telling details. I have an ant on me. So I went back to those and worked on those some more. And so I was able to add a lot of words today without doing the project of the day yet. So I still need to work on my well-articulated groups of characters. So I don't get an animal sticker, but I have already written over 900 words. So I had created 4 villains with dastardly plots, and I worked on 3 more for a total of 7 villains, and I added 413 words doing that. And then I went back to my heroes where I only had 2, and I added at least a little something to make 7 in response to those 7 villains and their dastardly plots. But probably only 5 have very much written down about them. Some of these heroes I really like, though. I'm like, I don't know about this villain. I don't know about this plot. This isn't what I was intending to write, but I like this hero. I want to hang out with them. So I did write 519 more words about heroes. And so as I approach 1,000 words, having not done today's project at all, I feel like I finally made a pretty decent effort at the projects for the last 2 days. So I'm hoping that tonight I will be able to put in some time and work on well-orchestrated character groups, because one of these ideas, I really haven't sorted out the villain very well for this one. But it is the idea that I had back in January. It's very much about a group dynamic. And so I'm hoping that by developing that group, I'll get better clarity about the villain and the hero and the plot. But yeah, we'll see. I am going to give it a shot, though, even if I am yet again up until 11:30 working on it. And now it is the 10th, early in the morning, so I did stay up late last night until my eyes were so red and tired. And then somebody, this little watermelon, keeping me up throughout the night. So, still really tired. But I wrote about, I think it was 414 more words. Now, I only did well-orchestrated character groups for 2 of the ideas that I had been working on. No, 3 of them, and 3, 4, 5 characters that have a lot of contrast with each other, are very distinctive compared to each other, and would have natural areas where they might encounter conflict with each other, just in terms of their way of doing things. And the book that I got that idea from, he did include physical characteristics that were very different from each other, and I didn't include physical characteristics for most of the characters, except one that really stood out to me. I just had a clear picture of this character who I really liked. I still feel like it was not as much as I wanted to do. I wanted to tackle more of these ideas and maybe you know, I feel like I'm getting a little pigeonholed with these specific ideas, and I want to keep trying to let there be space for totally new and different things. But I'm also having fun doing like a bunch of steps on each of these specific ideas. I wish I had more time for this. I want to do more, but I'm gonna go with yesterday I wrote more words than I had any day so far this camp. So that's a total win. One thing that has emerged these last 3 days that's totally new is an idea for a YA thriller that takes place during a teen beauty pageant. And it's totally not my style, totally not my genre, and just a wacky idea. The villain was the first thing on the 6th when I was, nope, 7th, when I was working on villains, and just randomly came up with this villain and have been able to, I feel like, get a bunch of brainstorming done each day these last few, expanding on that idea. So I don't know that I'll ever turn into anything other than a brainstorming exercise, or maybe outlining practice. It's been fun. It's been fun to explore this concept and these handful of characters. So I am on to the next thing today. What is the next thing? I don't remember what the next thing is. I have to go look. Anyway, I guess you'll find out in the next vlog. And until then, I am Moon Petrie. Stay hydrated. It's bloody awful hot out there.